Cool.
I wish you clap.
Can we do the clap?
3, 2, 1.
Ah, God.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
I didn't even hear your clap. That's how in time that was.
It's good, isn't it? It's like the little
Two
phase
souls
effect.
as
Yeah.
one clap. Fuck, what episode is it? Number 8. We're
8.
back.
2 months, blood.
2 months.
And video.
And video. Now you can see us.
What's, not that you might want to, but.
They're like, yeah, we preferred it without. Go back. Abort. Yeah, so
Okay.
today is Sunday. It's Go Skateboarding Day. And you know what that means.
We'll go skating.
I mean, I did think that, but I'm really fucking tired.
And it's
so
wet.
no, but it also means that this day is the most amount of daylight hours we're going to get. So the days get shorter now. That's why it's Go Skateboarding Day.
Ah.
And see what the fuck you're doing.
And Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day? Father's Day.
I mean, neither of us are fathers, but we know some. We have ones. So
Yeah.
I can't say we have some because then someone's mum got some explaining to do.
yeah.
But yeah, so happy Father's Day, Dad. And
And Dad.
separate ones in case you didn't
You
notice.
better confuse me then.
And also, I guess when you guys hear this episode, it's going to be Wednesday, which is 2 days before your birthday. And so what we did
Oh no.
before was it's open your present because I'm not actually going to be able to see you on.
On the actual
The
day.
actual
yeah.
day.
Okay, right.
So
Lovely lettering.
enjoy.
Did you draw this?
Well, there's no one else that can draw that badly that I know unless
Right.
they're very, very young.
What's in here?
He asked me what's in here.
I bet it's chocolate. I hope it's chocolate.
Is it a bike?
Right. Ooh. Oh, I need like
It's a box.
scissors. So far, it's a box. Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that this is getting shown in the podcast too, because I suppose it sort of ties in with something that we spoke about a while ago.
Right. I don't know whether
It's not a massive dildo, don't worry.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Thanks so long. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's fine. I think they're just about excited. Check out the graphics, bitch.
Hey! Little pussy cup.
Do you know what? I realised I'm actually wrong. I think they took it off.
Oh, they did.
They got rid of a pussy cup.
Oi! Mad thing. Yes, blood.
Bastian Salabanzi, pro model.
Oi. Ah, you the best, blood.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Maggi.
Well, I wasn't really sure if you were going to ride it or not because the graphics are sick.
I don't even want to put a fucking.
Yeah, so there's grip tape in there too, but I didn't get them to put it on in case you wanted to just hang it up on your wall.
Oh, do you know what? I kind of.
Yeah, you don't want
I
to skate
kinda-
it,
I
right?
kinda don't wanna
Yeah,
ride
exactly.
this.
So that's why, I wasn't sure. The other option was to get us like matching Plan B decks, but then I kind of realized I don't know if I'm going to skate much more because I was like, I'm just wasting £50 right here.
Dude, this is sick.
Yeah, man. I was trying to also figure out what your favorite Dragon Ball Z character was, and then I was like, because we talked about the pussy cut,
Yeah.
it's got to be Frieza. So
That's so perfect.
there you go.
Oh, I want to go skating now.
Cool. That's enough of the podcast, guys.
right,
see you next week.
week.
Yeah,
thanks,
Go
man.
Skateboarding Day is today.
Yeah.
And no one's going to be skating because the weather's been fucking shite. But I'm not going to talk
Yeah.
about the weather on the podcast because, you know, that's what you
dead
talk
chat.
about.
I mean,
Oh,
we
running
had
out
a
of
fair
content.
share of that last podcast.
Yeah, this week's been pretty good, actually.
Yeah?
I'm not, yeah, because I know last...
I'm not reading text. I'm just.
Yeah, to be honest, I actually had so one of my friends has been romancing a lady,
Oh.
and he just
Oh.
messaged 30 minutes ago going, I'm not going to say her name. Fucked again last night. Just wanted to tell someone. Just take the target.
Just yes, I did it.
Yes, I had sex. All right, well, thank you. I won't name him
Well,
either.
I can imagine in these times might be
Yeah,
quite difficult to meet up.
lockdown's tough times. Hard
unless you're already with someone. Like-
Yeah, but by that point, you're like, I don't want to fuck you anymore. I see your face every day.
Well, yeah, if you're living with them. Well, no, but that just be normal. Because then, like, how would like marriages work?
Yeah,
no,
but-
fuck you, I'll see you every day.
Yeah, but I suppose it's worse when it's forced, when you lose the option to leave, because now it's obligatory that you stay in those same four walls, and now you're like, now I feel trapped. Do you know what I mean?
No,
That's just me then.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the thing though. Like, surely, when you know you have the freedom to leave and you don't feel trapped, you're more inclined to want to be with that person and be like, oh, I still find sexually
Yeah.
attractive, whatever. This might not apply to men so much because men are like sex now.
Well, I don't know, like
If I get it,
but it depends.
I'm
Like
happy.
everyone's different. Some people are more like towards a relationship, and some people are more like towards that. Where it's just like screw it, like
literally.
yeah, well,
Bam.
like they just fuck around, sleep around.
Yeah, but I was gonna say something. It's gone.
Just gone.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll come back if it's that important.
Well, anyway, so speaking of the shit weather, when we did have good weather, remember we saw we did something I wanted to touch upon last time, but I forgot. Like, you know them short shorts that girls wear, which can't be called short shorts because they're pretty much just underwear. Like
the
that,
denim ones.
well, just any when they just got like half their butt cheeks just dangling out. Like some put that away, lad. No one wants to see that shit. But also,
I mean,
like, you can't just be getting it out. Because then you're going, oh,
there's a feminist crying somewhere.
probably. Well, no, I mean, you can. You wear whatever you want, but don't be surprised if you get, like, certain responses from people. Or looks, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Because
know.
part
I
of me
know,
was like,
I
okay,
know
you're
what
doing
you
that for a
mean.
reason.
Yeah, because I come from a very lefty sort of view on it, where they're like, well, I get it. Like, they shouldn't be looked upon
No,
that
of
way.
course, yeah.
And they shouldn't have those responses. It's just like, I can wear what I want, so you should just control yourself. Because the whole thing about, don't protect your daughter, just educate your son sort of thing. Like, tell him not to be a pig.
Yeah.
But the sad reality of the
that
the
takes
world
generations
is,
to
yeah,
develop,
the sad
do you know what I
reality
mean?
of the world is that you probably will get catcalled. And, neither of us do that.
No.
But
But then I guess, like...
it's not like we're ignorant to the fact that it does happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, you walk past a load of builders. It's like, builders are, like, primarily men, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's no disputing that construction work is primarily
It's
a male.
heavily male-based industry.
There's probably like 2 females at a push out of every 10 workers. If
Which is
that.
quite a high number, actually.
Yeah, but this is like looking at all of them.
Yeah, totally.
So like that's basically putting a guy in prison, right? He's not even felt like the pheromones of a woman like in fucking ages. He's like, I just know dick. I know dick and
So
nothing
for
else.
the whole day, he's just like seeing dudes like sweaty and high vis.
Yeah, like being barked orders at.
Yeah.
Probably, trying to rub his back.
Yeah, but
get a little action, and then he sees a woman, and this is now the construction guy. He's
Yeah.
gonna be like, know.
But they're probably talking about that shit anyways. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, they are. But I mean,
Most of the shit chat that goes on in building sites is probably like a mixture of
I
that.
think the point that I see about the shorts thing is when really young girls do it, then I'm like,
Yeah.
that I just feel uncomfortable.
But then that...
It's like over sexualizing yourself, but at a young age. But then again, the counter argument would be, why is it sexualizing? Because it's just a butt. Everyone's got a butt,
Yeah.
and is it our male brains that are viewing that
Oh,
butt?
definitely.
Yeah. So it's sort of like what? So
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
like-
So the female argument would be, not necessarily all
Change your
females.
mindset.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, well, that's like let's flip it around. So if you were to have, if you do like a tank top, I have like if you're like a built dude, you've got your shoulders out.
Yeah.
Girls find that attractive or whatever, and then they'd be like, oh, you can't wear it anymore because you'd be like, fuck you, I want to wear it. So I can see,
Yeah.
I see that point.
Yeah. I
But the
guess
only
so.
time I'd see it when the other way around is when, like, if I had a daughter and she was wearing really revealing stuff, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I really don't know where. So I don't know where I would stand. I don't know how I deal with that.
But like at the same time, you're obviously saying like you got to change your mindset.
Yeah,
It's a primal thing. Like you can't really change like
yeah,
genetics and like how. Oh, it's not genetics. It's like
instinctual.
just how you're wired. Like how the.
yeah. I mean,
You could probably alter it, but like fundamentally, it's like that's the goal, right? To reproduce, right? That's kind of what our brains are wired to do.
goals.
So then when you you see someone
Yeah,
like again like because it's not like a torso, like a dude's torso, like shoulders is just like, well, it's just a shoulder, isn't it?
but
I
this
guess
is the
you could
thing
say
though.
the
Has
same
that
thing,
has
it's
that
just a
been
butt.
like
yeah
conditioned? It's
yeah
conditioning, right?
fair dues.
So like you over sexualize one thing, and then not so much the other. And you know what? So I think there's something interesting about this because it's just like the. I don't ever think you're ever gonna be fully equal because men and women are good at different things in different ways.
Mhm.
And this is one thing that men are really shit at is understanding that and seeing that from their perspective. Like women are like, well, why should we have to cater to that? Because
Yeah.
technically we shouldn't, right?
Yeah, I guess so. You can have the argument of like, well, there's a reason there's two different sexes. It's like, well, one's made more for doing.
But there's the other argument.
Oh,
Are there only two? Well, actually, there's only two sexes, but there's more than one gender.
yeah,
Is that correct?
yeah, because you're born one or the other, right? Biologically,
Yeah. This is the whole can of worms, man.
we're going deep in this one.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, no, because Joe Rogan talked about this a little while ago. Well, he kind of brings it up every now and again, where it's like biologically,
Yeah.
it is you're either is it
Able to-
XY chromosome,
Yeah.
and then what's the other one?
XX.
XX. Like that's genetics. Like that's just biology. It's science. You can then like identify as a different gender, which is nothing wrong with that.
Well,
but
to a
then you're
degree.
into that argument of like,
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Because there was a video clip where this reporter went around and said it was again. This is the annoying thing about the left and the right. That when they paint each other's arguments, they'll do it in such broad brushstrokes and just oversimplify what the other one is saying, which is not fair to the opposition.
uh-huh.
So what this reporter did, obviously, for example, when that Trump video I showed you, when he goes to all the the dumbest Trump supporters,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, obviously they're not gonna
Selective,
like
innit?
talk to someone who can articulate themselves a little better, rather than be like, well, I haven't read the script, but I've heard other people read it. It's like,
I'm sure there are idiots on both sides.
yeah, exactly.
You
And
can't just
they
assume that
always
the right
choose
wing
the lowest of the low to represent the opposition, which is
100%.
unfair.
because there's entertainment value.
Exactly, gets the ratings in. But
Yeah.
to that point, there was a video of a guy who was conservative, obviously. I went to this left rally about trans LGBTQ plus rights,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Okay, so what would you say if I decided to tell you I identify as a dragon today? Just hypothetically
Humour me,
speaking."
yeah.
So the person was like, "Well, then I'd say all power to you," and I was like, "Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
You're not a fucking dragon. The dragon isn't even a real. Well, there you go.
Mythological
Do
creatures.
you know what I mean? Like,
No, I get you. I get you. I
so
get you.
like at some point you got to be like, stop. You're just being silly. But I also do understand where
Yeah.
some people are born anatomically one way.
and mentally though,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they'll just like that balance, or I don't know enough science about it to say articulate it in a sensible way. But they will think, or they'll grow up thinking they have the wrong bits. And there's been stories I've read where kids have grown up, like mutilating themselves because it feels wrong to them.
yeah,
And obviously this is before they reach puberty,
yeah,
so they're aware that something's not right, but because they're not of sort of sexual maturity, they won't be able to articulate that or understand it,
yeah.
and so they'll just be like self-harming, and then they'll be put on all these meds, and it's a really sad story. So from that perspective, I totally get it. Like, there is not just two genders.
Well, I've so going on
Oh,
that,
not-
I've got a. I guess is it a cousin? No, it's not really a cousin. So it's my. I don't know what the relation is, but so it's my
Your family.
mum's cousin, but it's her son, one of her sons. So there's some sort of weird, very very small
Is that a
relation.
nephew?
Second nephew? I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
anyways,
Anyway.
so he's like he's probably 13, 14, and he
It's in Poland.
No, in Norway. They're Norwegian. They're in Oslo, and
Oh, the guy who owns the studio.
yeah, so that's his dad.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so his son, one of his sons, his oldest son, he is currently going like through. I think they're doing operations like to sort of
Like sex change.
yeah, totally.
So is it? Do they do the physical part before or after?
I
the
don't know
hormone
too much
treatment?
about it, but I remember so my mum told me, and it was like quite a few years ago. He would just feel really weird, like depressed and all sorts of stuff, and like
Yeah.
like he couldn't just figure out what was wrong.
Yeah.
Like he didn't feel like like what he was given was correct.
Yeah.
And like
Well, I say yeah, like I understand, but I can. I know what you
yeah.
mean.
I mean, I haven't really, or I haven't spoken to him about it because like we're not really like close to the family
it's
to kind of
pretty
do
quite
that. I just get it from
touchy
like through the
subject
grapevine
to
from my
bridge
mum.
that as well,
Yeah, but like I haven't seen him since I was like 6. I think
Yeah,
that's the only time I went to go and visit them, or 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, but like all his mates are like really supportive, and like his family is super supportive. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll do whatever you want, to be comfortable, you know, because we don't want our kid to be depressed and like go down that fucking wormhole.
Yeah.
And his mates are really supportive. Like where one day in school, I think they all chipped in and bought, well, her now, like a dress, or I think they all dressed up
How
as
old are
well.
these kids?
They're like teenagers, blood. They're like 13, 14.
Wow, that's-
and they're so
that's cool.
like in tune.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like
They are woke.
yeah, yeah. So that was really nice. Like when I heard that, I was like, oh man, like.
Well,
some
it's
good
nice to know
mates.
that. Yeah, it's nice to know that it's not going to be a struggle. It's not like another barrier for him to
To get
do
acceptance
it
from your
into
mates.
like social circle.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
Because the
that can
first
be
one's
really-
family.
yeah,
I try to explain that
yeah,
even when you don't fully understand it.
yeah.
But yeah, so just going back to our original thing about girls in the booty shorts.
Yeah. Sorry, that took a
I'm all
complete turn.
I mean, no, we can come back to it, but it's all sort of interlinked because it's about sort of your social conditioning
Yeah.
and what's normal. So, for example, I don't
And
know,
like it's a
if you look at
generational
like
thing as well, isn't it?
yeah, that's true. But it's really funny though because I saw this meme on the internet where it's like, it's like old family pictures, and then like it says grandparents say, all these generations these days care about is sex, and it's like, I'm sorry, grandma, and she has like 50 kids next to her, and it's like, how do they turn up then?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. It was boredom, innit?
Yeah, we didn't have TV back then, so, or functioning condoms.
Yeah. I guess. So.
Actually, worst birth control.
What, baby boom, innit?
Boom!
You wonder baby. But that was stemmed from the war, didn't it? Because you'd have all these soldiers come back.
We're not dying. Let's fuck.
I guess so.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was busy
I
swimming in
can
my dad's
speak
balls.
for it. I can
What-
just
what-
imagine
what this?
synchronized swimming. Yeah, your ones would be like,
Just erratic as fuck. And my dad didn't even smoke, so I was like, I'm healthy.
but you're super hyper.
Or the other one's like, yeah, let the crazy one go. You go for it, bro. Yeah. Power! So I have a friend who, again, this is taking a U-turn, but I love these kind of conversations. I've got a friend who, his mum had a coil and his dad was wearing a condom and he still got through.
It's meant to happen.
So when they like found out she was pregnant, he got the scan and they're like, his dad literally went, fuck, you know, he deserves it, doesn't he? So he kept it.
100%.
But he did well.
Like if you try that hard, like you're gonna try hard life. You know what I mean?
Irony of it is, he's one of the laziest people I've met in real life. So he exhausted all that like motivation just getting to the egg. He's like, bam, through the latex, bam, through the. I don't even know what a coil does or how it works. It's just
I
a
don't know.
coil. Because if it's just that, fucking I could swim through that.
No, but it's in.
No, that's the implant. The
Oh.
coil's like. The coil's like
It's
not in your
like
chest, but it's like put up there.
Oh,
I think.
no
I'm
thanks.
pretty sure it is. You mean nothing? You haven't even got a uterus
Yeah, I know, but no thanks. If I did,
up your butt, just in case. just to make sure.
Like, oh yeah, it still sucks.
It's like a little deeper. It's like, oh, I kind of like that.
Do it again. You got any bigger ones?
But do it again, but deeper. Bob it, twist it,
Oh no,
slap it.
just blood.
Oh. Anyway, so let's try and go back to the original conversational topic. The booty shorts on girls. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing for them to wear them. I'm all for it. The only time it makes me feel weird is when really young girls wear it, just because. And this could just be like, you know, me being not as liberal as I think I am, but
But then where do you stand? Sorry, go on.
it's just because I've grown up with girls that age, and when they did it, my brain was like sexually attracted to that.
Mhm.
But now I'm older, and it's still got
You
that
can
same
see it.
it's still got the
Yeah.
same connotation. But that's why when I look at someone who's obviously underage and wearing that, I'm like, it happened when I was that age,
Yeah.
and it's fine. But
But now you're not.
yeah, but
That's,
now I'm not, and that's not because I now find the underage person attractive, but just like
But then the problem is there are some people out there
who would, and
who
you're
are
like,
yeah.
that's probably not gonna. Like, yes, it'd be great to live in a world where you could wear whatever the fuck you want,
Yeah.
and you know you're not gonna get hurt. But the sad reality is that there are weird, twisted people in the world. Like, just watch the documentary "Don't Fuck with Cats." Like, look
yeah, that's fucked up. Bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Finally, something I referenced that you've
Yeah.
seen. I love that. But yeah, that's a prime example of, you know, look how fucked up the world is. And if you're cool as a parent with your daughter doing that, and all power to girls who do that and parents who are supportive, but just be careful, I suppose. And I suppose that's my only hang off about it. Like, if as long as they're safe, yeah, cool, whatever. But
Yeah.
just be, as long as they're aware of it and aware of the dangers that come with it, because it doesn't take much to, like 9 times out of 10, a man is physically stronger than a girl. It
Yeah.
doesn't take much to overpower them.
But I guess like at the same time, so just to interject,
Mm-hmm.
obviously you can't like be living your life based on like
yeah,
like oh this could happen, because that's just not how
But yeah, that's not
progression
living your
works.
life, that's just waiting to die.
Yeah. I guess the most important thing is just like teaching
it's fucking
your
hot in here.
your yeah, I know that fan's not doing anything. Teaching your offspring to know how to pick up signs of like, okay, that's
Yeah.
something to avoid, you know.
And it's interesting that all that stuff in Norway and Scandinavia is happening, because Scandinavia is one of the regions where equality has been pushed the most. It's a very, very liberal.
Forward thinking sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what they've actually found, and I was listening to quite a few videos by this psychologist called Jordan Peterson.
I think I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast,
Cool.
and he's written a couple of books, and he's kind of been touted as like a alternative right.
I actually watched a clip today
Of Jordan
where they were talking about the whole transgender thing.
Yeah.
And how you shouldn't have men and women competing against each other.
Yeah.
That
And
was it, same guy.
he's got his opinions on that too, and I'm inclined to sort of agree with him, because I think one of the biggest like controversial things that he said is I will not be told to say, like as soon as your freedom starts challenging what I'm allowed to say, then that's when it becomes an issue. And the whole subject was around the pronouns, so like him, her,
Uh-huh.
but you meant to say zim, zar, something like that.
Sure.
And he was like, if someone wants to identify as that and you need me to call you that, that's fine. But don't tell me before that. Let me get it wrong. And then essentially that's how I read his argument, because he's like, the second you say you can't say this anymore, now that's my freedom of speech being killed.
Tampered with, yeah.
Yeah. And that also kind of comes into, do you remember we were talking about Twitter when that person was on Joe Rogan's podcast and they bought the
lawyer.
yeah, because they were being
Yeah.
essentially they're just like a very lefty platform, and now they've banned
Yeah.
Katie Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but that's not fair. You can't just ban her permanently. You can't suspend her permanently, because that's the polar opposite. You're now a left extremist.
Yeah.
In the same way that left-wing ideology was not allowed on platforms previously,
Yeah.
and they were oppressed. Now it's the same thing, but it's happening to the right. So to have, for me to respect your argument, you got to give a balanced account. You
Yeah.
can't just be like, don't speak.
But then, like,
right.
yeah, so again, like, if you start shutting down one viewpoint, you're then going to get backlash from that viewpoint. So then you're almost making their
It's just, yeah.
community stronger. And it's like,
It's
'cause
not,
then they're
not
gonna-
making it stronger,
well,
but
no-
it's fueling the fire, because
that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you always have to have that balance. Like, there's always going to be a pro and a con, or like two different sides of the coin, you know? There just always is. That's just how society works and how things
And-
progress.
and the worst thing is that people are just, they don't, by shutting off the other side of the argument, you're essentially in an echo chamber with the same thoughts and same views. And how are you ever going to get better or progress? Surely, like, if you think your argument's that strong, you want to go out and test it against other people's thoughts. If you really believe in it, go and have someone challenge it and be like, oh, okay, cool, at least understand it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the other thing. So I was in at my agency, they did like a black, you know what BAME is? Like Black, Asian, minority
Yes.
ethnic groups.
I had to Google it the other day.
See?
But now I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were going to do this like meeting thing. I was, cool, bye. Yeah, they were going to do that hello won't get picked up. He said hello.
They probably will do.
Yeah, they did like a sort of workshop thing, but it's basically about how the company can help people of ethnic minorities and stuff.
Yeah.
So originally it was going to be a meeting with loads of people. So whoever wants to turn up, just let us know. It'd be a massive like group call.
Mm-hmm.
I think a day before or 2 days before, they made it so it was just people of color in it, and I was like,
What's the point?
yeah. So, but it was interesting though, because I was on this call, obviously, and we also had our CEO, who's a white woman,
Uh-huh.
and she was the only like white person there. Well, there were other white people, but they were like from
Descent.
other parts of
Sure.
So like there's a guy who's like half English, half Colombian, but he looks fully white.
Uh-huh.
And then like a French guy who's also like from other parts, but he looks white. So it wasn't necessarily about the color of your skin; it was more about your background.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice because it added a bit of balance.
I guess
to it.
that's more so ethnicity as opposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
colour of
Rather than
skin.
just
Yeah.
So in this meeting, my I was talking with a friend of mine about it, and I was like I said to you, I think we should have equal representation from white people too, because what's the point of us sitting here and having a meeting? Because I was like, look, my counter to it was, what if there was to be an all-white meeting? How would it make us feel?
Yeah.
And
The whole point is inclusion, but for the sake of education. So
yeah,
like,
exactly. You got to be able to have that discourse like in a civil manner.
Yeah.
But equally, it's hard to sort of conduct that when you're in a work environment, because obviously there could be certain feelings that crop up that that you're not quite prepared to deal with. Because there were two mediators. One of them was actually my manager,
Right.
who is like she's a black woman.
Uh-huh.
So halfway through this, what the whole thing, it ended up being like a 2.5 hour meeting, just like a call.
Right.
And everyone sort of said, what their background was, and it was weird because the whole point of it was to sort of talk about how you've been dealing with the past few weeks, because it's brought a lot of things up that you wouldn't necessarily have noticed yourself
Yeah.
dealing with, and so you're more conscious of how you're dealing with it now. And some of the stories I heard, man, I didn't say a word in the call. The only part of the call I spoke on was just tell them like my background, and then I just put myself on mute, and I was just taken aback by like the different stories from different people. And like there was a girl there who was like, her mum was white, her dad was black, and like she said my mum told me a story once of when I was like a kid in the bath, and I was like scrubbing like really hard. Mum was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm trying to be white like you." And I was like,
Oh,
fucking, I broke my heart. And I was there, like, it was such a heavy call. And like at the end of it, like after the call, everyone was like, "Yeah, cool, thanks, bye." And it was really weird because then my manager called me afterwards because she's like, "I know you were quiet." I was like, I was just listening to other points of view because like I live with my own points of view my whole life.
Yeah.
I want to hear someone else's.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting hearing it from that side. And I told her like it was really strange because even in that safe space, when you've got other people from ethnic minorities or whatever, you could notice when people were telling their stories, they were still apologetic about it. Like my own director, he's like super mixed. Like I can't remember where he's from. Like some like Belgian, but he looks like a black guy, like
right.
a light skinned black guy. Even when he was telling, he kept going, "Sorry, I'm going off on a rant," or being apologetic. And it was really weird because even when people start to open up, you notice that they kind of catch themselves opening up too much, and then they kind of shut off and go back into that little shell again because they have to hold themselves or carry
Safety
themselves
net.
a certain way at work. And I said that to my manager, and she was like, "That's so true. Like everyone is still such a touchy subject." So I was like, I was going to say that it'd be nice to have a full mix of people there for the first meeting, but now having seen that and seen what it's like when people are, because people hurt in different ways. People on that call whose grandparents can still show you their slave papers,
Mad.
or like their parents' papers, so their great
Yeah.
grandparents.
But it's still like in the family, like.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously it's far closer to them than it is to me. So obviously I can sort of detach myself to a certain degree from it.
Uh-huh.
But then I said to my manager, like, I get why this meeting was now just all colored people only first.
I get that.
You got to bridge that gap first, because even in that safe space they weren't comfortable talking about it.
fair dues.
So then you add in the mix of who they, and not that it's a race war thing, but when people hear it first, it's going to be like a me against you thing.
Yeah,
and it's hard to
at the
bridge
same
that.
time, I don't think anyone likes to be made to feel like they're the victim. So
So
when you're telling these sort of stories, that's going to be your first sort of like like sort of thing in your head where as you're saying it, you're going, "Oh no, I'm saying this and that," and then you're just going to start questioning what you're saying and kind of like overthinking it. You just got to say it for what it is. Like, this is how I feel. I mean, like almost detach emotions from it as you're saying it. You're just kind of relating facts, but obviously that's human nature isn't really one to do that.
And the other thing is, like, if a British person was to hear these stories, they've grown up being told that the British Empire was great and they were heroes and did all this, but never being quite aware of the fact that the empire was built off other people's pain and suffering, but you never really taught about that. And so to have your heroes from the past be painted as like tyrants, it's a big shift mentally, and something that you've had cemented in your beliefs for so long that everyone's natural instinct will be to attack that. Because you'd be like, because you feel a heritage. So my example was, for example, my family's Islamic. I'm not really practicing, but when someone says something bad about Muslims or Islamics, I feel a need to defend them because
That's part of your culture, isn't it?
They're not necessarily practicing like strict either.
Yeah.
But because I know that they're not bad people, to then paint everyone with a broad brushstroke sort of hurts.
Yeah.
And so you feel like inclined to defend them. But it's just one of those things where you got to take a step back and be willing to hear the other side, but not everyone has that capacity or clarity of mind.
Yeah, but at the same time, like now, going on the subject of like defending yourself or defending other people, now there definitely seems to be a lot more, not pressure, but a bit more of a responsibility from people of all colors and ethnicities to stand up for each other.
Yeah.
So if you obviously, you hear something or you see something, I don't think people would think twice to just kind of get in and be like, what are you talking about? Like, what's that about? That's wrong.
about
Like,
Willis?
you can't say that. That video that you sent me actually. There's two white dudes holding up the little sign saying "fuck black," and I was like, I looked at it and I was like, I assumed they're going to be right wing, like that's just where my brain went. They looked like that kind of like, not to sort of obviously like stereotyping anyone, but they had that hillbilly vibe to them. One was kind of chubby, had like a vest on. The other one was like really skinny and had like American shorts on
of Mice and Men,
the flag. Yeah, but then he had like a Tupac sort of t-shirt on. I was like, okay, where are we going with this?
Yeah, the Tupac t-shirt threw me off.
Yeah, and they were talking, and then it was like if I see you like putting signs up like this, like I don't care who you are, how old you are, I'm gonna like say this is fucking wrong. Like you can't do this. And I was like, these are the kind of people that need to like actually make their opinions heard a lot more because it has that very opposite kind of stereotype viewpoint. It really throws people off, and you go, oh shit, like, okay, this is actually really wrong. Because when you know what I mean? It's
I know.
when the same groups of people say the same thing, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, whatever. But when you have almost an unexpected sort of viewpoint, not a viewpoint, but like a demographic, say those sort of things, you go, oh shit, like if they're the ones who have this viewpoint, who I initially
looks
thought
like you having an opposite sort of perspective on it, and you're like, well, then there must be a reason to it, you know?
Yeah.
I
kind of went like a very weird way of saying that, but
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
But
right?
it's the same reason why people have you're in America, like the token black conservatives. So, for example, the Hodge twins, which I showed you are right wing or conservative recently.
Yeah.
They have another channel called the Conservative Twins.
I didn't even know that.
yeah, exactly. So, like, for those of you that don't know, they're just YouTube the Hodge twins.
They're just YouTube.
They're sort of mixed. I think they're mixed race, or are they just light skinned black guys? I don't know. But they've hit like the fucking genetic jackpot. Like they've like they're fucking built. They look identical. They've got like light eyes and like But they're like 40 something now. But when they were young, they fucking smashed a lot. Yeah. Not each other. Although they said they've been in threesomes together with another girl.
That's weird. Your brother. Yeah, no, that's like your literal bro.
It's not gay if there's a girl in between.
I don't know. That's wrong. Wrong?
That's wrong.
That's weird. I'm gonna say weird and wrong at the same time. It just didn't work out.
But yeah, so like they are African
American.
Yeah,
like
I don't know what the term is, but yeah, they're black guys. So they have an alternative view to what people would expect them to have just because they're coloured. And I think they can play off that. So there's another person called Candace Owens, who's a black conservative. And all of the, like, it ties into that because that almost gives the right wing, who have like covert racism ideology, the platform to be like, oh no, look, this coloured person also thinks this. And it almost like helps them support their argument of bigotry and not all of their thoughts are bigoted, but because some of them are, and you have a coloured person agreeing with it, it makes it okay.
Yeah. See, I like personally, I don't have a problem with people obviously having differing points of views, like whether it's political or whatever, as long as they're not extremist views. That's where the problem is. And you can have like say for instance them, right? I've not really like looked into that much. I just watched that little video you showed me. They're very well educated. They clearly did their research, right? Or probably heavily biased research towards their beliefs, but nonetheless they do know about it. It's not just some person going, women can't be president or whatever. Like, that's fine. I'm totally cool with that because, again, like I said before, you have to have that yin and yang. Like you have to have, like, it's not necessarily where one is right and one is wrong, because that's wrong in itself. Yeah, you can't be like, my viewpoint is right because I'm left. Then you've straight away just like you've kind of like disproven your point by saying that, because that's what the other party is doing as well.
It's like that. It's like a really annoying argument when people say, "I don't believe in God," but then by saying that, you've inadvertently accepted that there is a God. You just don't believe in it.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, totally. But like, so what I'm saying, like, just extremist views are the problem. or is the problem, where you can have it from both sides.
Yeah.
You can have the super left or the super right, where it's like, have your opinion, have your viewpoint, but be open enough to hear the other person out. And that's where I think a lot of the problems lie nowadays. Sorry to get super political, but it's very
fine.
much like
it's a very political time. So it's
even
fine.
within politics, like politicians, they're so like close-minded and so shut off because that's their party, innit? They're trying to target the demographic who believe the same sort of thing. And it's
politicians and what they say. I didn't even pay too much attention to
No.
it, just because there's so many other sources or external factors that play into what they have to say. And like people who fund their campaigns, they're not doing it for fun. They're getting something out of it.
yeah, totally.
So there's a
It's
lot
all
of
monetary gain, isn't it? And
Yeah.
control and stuff like.
you got to watch House of Cards, man. My sister started watching it recently.
Yeah.
She's like blitzed it. I think she's on like season 4 after like 2-3
But
weeks.
I'm bad at films and like
series.
TV series. I got Charlotte, my girlfriend, into Drive to Survive. We've already watched the first season.
Drive to Survive. Is she actually interested though?
Yeah. No. She's like, oh, can we watch this again? I'm like, yeah. Like we can watch something else if you want. She's like, no. Because she knows that I enjoy it as well, and she knows that I don't like watching other TV as well. But she's like, oh, hang on, wait, wasn't he with
so
who?
it's finally like
So she's getting in like, I was like, yeah, I told you there's drama. Because she tried watching the first episode, like, yeah, not really my thing. I was like, you got just do a couple of
Stick with
episodes.
it.
And then she was like, oh, he's a dick. I was like, yeah, he is a dick.
See, girls like the drama. They don't know about the cars.
No, but the thing is, like, she was kind of interested in the whole
to be fair, I like the drama.
logistics of the driving as well. Like, I found she switched on more when they were driving and like when there were crashes. She's like, whoa!
The
Like, you
girls
know
are
when
dude, man.
was it Lando Norris went over the top and landed on top of Leclerc's like head or helmet?
Oh,
and,
that
and
was
then you had that halo thing.
Alonso, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, the fucking is stupid. And then he just such a great quote. But yeah, she's well into it.
That's so good. Drive to Survive is great.
But then I guess I've just kind of proven my own point where like you just got to watch 1 or 2 episodes and then you'll get stuck into it. So maybe I should give it a go.
You know what one I was hooked on straight away was the Epstein documentaries.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, dude, that guy was fucked up.
That's the guy who died in
not-
prison, right?
Not
Not Weinstein.
Yeah,
Epstein.
Weinstein was another
The
the producer.
very wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're both equally wrong.
Oh,
It's
they're the same sort of
similar sort of thing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. But then there's
similar
one
sort of thing of
conspiracy behind
well,
one of them.
Epstein was the one who had underage girls
And like,
specifically,
Parties.
whereas Weinstein was guys who had actresses.
uh-huh.
I don't know what their ages were. Probably underage too. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna
But that's more like-
if you're gonna do one illegal thing, then
You're probably going to do
that
more
one
than...
that one's not too far removed.
Yeah.
So, I don't
But
know.
that was more like,
It's a very big assumption to make.
like,
I'm sorry. but,
oh, to get into the industry, here's how you do it, sort of thing.
suck my dick.
Epstein was more like, just in general.
Yeah, so he basically had like a network of girls who would be underage and then also get their friends to go to this old guy's house and give him a massage.
Ugh.
But the thing is, his own wife was in on it too.
Well, because they were probably making a fortune from it. They're probably getting all these A-listers or whatever who have like
no,
very
this
weird...
is the Epstein guy. So there's just like schoolgirls, like not famous.
No, them not them making money, but
Oh,
him
they're
and his wife making money from it. They're probably like,
Why are they making money from it?
well, because
They're
they're
paying
probably
girls to.
yeah, but they're probably getting other people as well. Because I heard that they were doing like parties where they would invite other famous people.
Yeah, he's
And,
been
like, very
photographed.
hush-hush behind
he's been
closed doors.
Photographed with Bill Clinton, with Donald
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah,
But back in the day,
yeah.
there's a quote in there. I think on the first episode where Donald Trump's like, "Oh, Epstein, like me, likes younger girls," and at the time, I'm just gonna try and be fair here. He might have just meant younger girls, not underage girls.
Yeah,
You
which
know?
is probably what he did mean. But connotations,
But
isn't it? Like,
it's very easy to hate Trump. He makes it very easy. So
yeah.
But it's really funny because as soon as any of the cases came out, all the famous people just sort of like detached themselves from him. So like Donald Trump was like,
Well, naturally, yeah.
yeah, now it's bad for my image. But they knew the whole time. He had a whole fucking island, and there were workers on the island too that obviously knew about it.
Trying to keep
Just
that many
watch it.
people like
Just watch it.
from saying anything.
Yeah, it's only like 6 episodes, I think.
All right, cool.
It's like 6 hours of your life,
I'll give
which
it a
when I
go.
put it like that sounds like a long time.
Maybe we should do this thing where you recommend something for me to watch, and I'll watch it for next week. So maybe over the course of 10 years, I'll have the average person's knowledge of films and TV,
But they're,
and then
fil-
still have to catch up.
they're filtered through me though, so
Oh, okay.
that's going to be like probably really dark. It's going to be really miserable.
Okay, never mind. Scratch that.
Like SpongeBob, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, but that little clip that you sent me,
Yeah.
you're like, how's this allowed?
Oh, when he licks his belly, that's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, things you don't notice as a kid, but when you're an adult, you go, what the fuck is happening?
did you? So I saw this post about this tortoise, Diego the tortoise. Have you heard about him?
Nope.
So Diego the tortoise retires after saving his entire species with his rapid sex drive.
Damn.
Thanks to his rapid sex drive, he's 100 years old. He's helped produce more than 2,000 baby giant tortoises, who 800 of those have been fathered by him. Diego, the real MVP.
Oh yeah. That's
He's an
single-handedly
MVD.
like
He's an MVD. That most valuable dick. Oh. This has turned into like budget Hodgkins.
Oh my God.
I'm. First of all, I'm roasting.
I think on that note we should maybe finish. Wait, is it a tortoise or turtle? What's the difference?
Tortoise.
One's a sea creature, one's not, right?
Yeah, that one doesn't go in the sea.
But they're the big fuckers, huge. Well,
What had giant in the name?
he was a big fucker.
Well played, sir. Well played. Oh, I love this show.
Oh yeah.
And hope you guys did too.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. There is video, but I mean, my camera decided to give in halfway through. So
Oh, that was cute. You just called it our camera.
It was mine. But the camera we're using to film our podcast, all right, died halfway through. So there'll be some footage on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description of whatever platform you're on.
And along with that, if you want to chat to us on Twitter, it's almost grown up 2.
And on Instagram, almost.grownup. Once again, thank you, and we'll catch you next week.
Peace.
See ya.